Guys, ALMD back with another video, and today we're going to be talking about The Last of Us 2 and how it's the most controversial game, how it's completely separated the fan base, completely divided people, and people that don't even like video games are talking about this game and how controversial it is, and how it's basically dividing people. It's completely separating people, not only based on their opinions, but it affects how people actually relate to people in real life based on what they think about this game. But guys, let's get right into it, and thank you guys so much. If you guys enjoy content like this, please be sure to subscribe, and thank you guys. Let's get right into it. So this game, ever since it was the leaks first came out, is sometime around March, there's been so much talk about the game, so much controversy because of what happened in the leaks, how they mistreated Joel's character, and all of this stuff that goes into it, how you have to play as Abby for 12 hours of the game. It's very different to what the first game is, and some people, still like the game. Some people really hate it for what it's done to Joel and what it's done to Ellie, because if you look at what happened in the first game compared to what happened in the second game, they've completely taken Joel and Ellie to be likable characters and great characters to making you not end up like they've tried to make them characters you don't like. They've made them characters that you almost don't want to play as, which is just, I think that's terrible. Why would they take good characters that we care about and completely destroy them in the next game? And then they have marketed the game to make it seem like you're going to be playing as Joel with Ellie throughout this story, when Joel ends up dying something like a minute into the game. And that's just fucking ridiculous. But regardless, we're not talking about that. We're talking about how it's completely divided the fan base. And, I've never seen a game like this completely divide people in ways that aren't even really related to games. Because if you are an advocate for not liking the game, obviously there are some people that are just really messed up and don't like it for certain reasons. But if you don't like the game, most likely it's because of what I just mentioned before. How they've mistreated Joel, they've mistreated Ellie, they've mistreated Tommy. I actually think they really mistreated Tommy based on what he was like in the first game, how he's like almost the bad guy in this game. And they've turned them into characters that you don't like, and characters that, you don't think they would do things like this. It just doesn't make any sense what they've done with them. And if you don't like that, people assume that you don't like it because certain people are in the game or certain things are in the game, and that's just fucking stupid. We don't like the game because of the story decisions that people like Neil Druckmann have chosen and gone through with. It doesn't make sense the way that leads up to Joel's death. All of Ellie's story throughout this whole game doesn't make sense with what happens at the end. Chronologically, it makes zero sense, and that's where I kind of stand on it, and where as the other side is kind of just advocating for it because it's different and it's, brave for them to go in this different direction, which it was kind of bold, but it doesn't change the fact that it sucks and it didn't fucking work. And it's just, I don't know, it gets so annoying talking about it so much, but it's extremely frustrating what they've done, especially if you played the first game. I feel like if you didn't play the first game, you could actually enjoy this game. But if you've played the first game, you learn to love these characters, you learn to play as them, you know who they are. It's incredibly frustrating as a fan to see some of the decisions that these characters make, and I don't know, it's extremely disappointing, especially since we waited 7 years for this game. But regardless, again, it's so frustrating as a fan. And I think the reason that the entire community is separated is because it's separating the true fans from the people that aren't fans. And now, I'm not saying if you like the game, you're not a fan. That's not what I'm saying. You can definitely enjoy this game and be a fan of the series, and I've always loved The Last of Us, because I know people like that, and that's perfectly fine. Nothing wrong with that. But I think a majority of the people that do like this game either didn't play the first one or not really big fans of video games at all. And if you look consistently over, let's just say YouTube as this platform, consistently over it, many of the people that have played this, such as PewDiePie or Angry Joe, have clearly shown their problems with the game and have shown that they didn't really like it. Angry Joe gave it a 6 out of 10. PewDiePie gave it a 6 out of 10. Clearly, this game is not what it was hyped up to be in the coming years. I mean, just so annoying. Some of the decisions they've made, the pacing with the game, and this is dividing the community. Angry Joe is getting banned from platforms because he gave the game a 6 out of 10. It's absolutely unbelievable how this has completely divided the fan base, divided the community. And then it's almost not even just dividing the community, it has completely divided the fan base from like the big corporations and reviewers. Because again, if you look on Metacritic, I mean, the game's 94 out of 100, I think, right now. You know, best game ever, fantastic game. And then if you look at the user reviews, it's something like a 4.2 out of 10. I mean, that's fucking ridiculous. How the users have such different opinions than the reviewers. And that is partially to do with the fact that the reviewers just want to make the game look good. This way they can get the next review copy for the next time. Otherwise, they're not going to get it. I forget what website it was, but somebody gave it a bad review that got a pre-release copy. And somebody from Sony and Naughty Dog actually went there to like talk about it and ask them why. And they're probably not going to get a review copy for the next game that Naughty Dog or PlayStation releases. And it's, you know, it's kind of annoying as a PlayStation fan too. Because I've been a PlayStation fan my whole life, and some of the things they've done, some of the decisions they made have been extremely frustrating. It's like, what are you doing? Such as like copyright strikes on channels and banning people from Twitter. I mean, it's... Oh, and Reddit. I mean, some of the stuff they've done is absolutely ridiculous, and clearly I'm on the one side of the spectrum for where I sit for this game, because I loved the first one, and this one was so incredibly disappointing. I didn't agree with almost any of the story decisions that they made, especially towards the end. I mean, just ridiculous. And you know, there's definitely a lot of people that, I don't want to say a lot, but there's definitely people that are on the other side that love this game, and you know, if you love the game, again, nothing wrong with that, completely fine. But I don't like it because of the story decisions that they've chosen, and some people are not gonna say that's why I don't like the game. They're gonna say it's for other reasons, and that's just not true. People just don't understand, and that is another thing that is blocking or kind of separating the fan base. People have completely turned reasons for not liking the game or liking the game into different things. Why can't it just be about the game? Like, isn't this what this is about? It's about the game, it's about the story. How come we are turning into other things, and it's just extremely annoying? Like, I just want to play this game and have fun, but I can't have fun with this game anymore. I can't play it. It's not enjoyable. The story, I don't enjoy watching my characters suffer. I don't enjoy, you know, watching my characters not be who they are. That is not Buck and Joel. That is not Joel in The Last of Us 2. The only part that is Joel is when they go back to the museum. They have that flashback with Ellie when she's like 15. I mean, just, oh, it's so annoying to see your characters not do things they would normally do. Their character arcs were like destroyed. That is part of the reason why I can't even enjoy the game, because it's a story-driven game. Don't get me wrong, gameplay fantastic, the graphics were great. I feel like the way you played killing people and like the stealth mode of it was fantastic, but you know, some of the decisions they made were just not good, and some people think that they are good, and that's what's mainly dividing the fan base. But it's not just for the story. There's so many other reasons into it, and you know, I don't really like that. I wish it was just more so about games, or this even goes past games. You know, this could go to movies. People have related this game something like to Star Wars The Last Jedi and how it's divided the fan base like that. And you know, this stuff in entertainment is, as a whole, is just going way too far, and it's extremely annoying and frustrating to see, you know, so many great franchises kind of get fallen apart and separated by things like identity politics and, you know, trying to push narratives and agendas that, you know, people just people just want a great story, and them pushing things like narratives and agendas, like, is fine, but don't make it a part of the story that is going to completely change what people love about the whole thing. Doing these narratives for The Last of Us completely took Joel out of the game and spit on his character. That is one of the main reasons people do not like this game, because of what it chose to do to Joel. And there was no need for that. Nobody would have been mad if Joel died in this game. Not one person. If it was used in a good way to progress the story, but which this was not. Or if it was used in a way to kind of make his story arc come full circle. But it was not. It was just a random death within the first hour of the game that kind of drives the rest of the plot, but it doesn't drive it in a good way. I mean, just extremely frustrating. I hope it's not going to be the last one, but I hope this is the last big game or entertainment thing, movie or show that deals with identity politics and chooses to use identity politics and agendas over a good story. I've been rambling on for a long time. The use of identity politics has completely affected the story, and it's extremely annoying in the way that it's divided the fan base. That's a big problem too, is how all of these things that are so controversial and using agendas to move things forward or change the story, some people are like advocating for, and a lot of the older fans, the true fans in my opinion, are not. Which these directors and writers should want the fans to be happy, the real fans. And they're trying to push the fans out of the way, but they're trying to bring other people in, but they don't realize they're pushing other people out. And it's just absolutely frustrating. That's part of the reason too, is that the community is divided, because they're trying to push people out, or they're trying to bring people in, but they don't realize they're pushing the older fans away. And these fans that they're bringing in are not like the older fans. They're not going to be people that are going to stick with the series. They're going to look at the lore. They're just there to look at how stunning and brave the game was, or the decision making was in the writing. They don't give a shit about the actual game. They don't give a shit about the story. Alright, yeah, I've been rambling on for a long time. That's my kind of opinion on why it's changed, or it's completely divided the community. Yeah, it's just frustrating, and you know, they really messed up this story in my opinion. You know, hopefully nothing's gonna change, but you know, I don't even know. Guys, that's kind of my opinion on why the whole community has changed. I just named a lot of stuff that I think is kind of wrong with what's going on here, and that almost kind of goes farther than The Last of Us 2. Hopefully stuff like this doesn't happen in the future, even though I know it will. But, you know, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening to my opinion. If you guys do enjoy it, please be sure to subscribe down below. I want to do more stuff like this, where I kind of just talk about my opinion on stuff, and kind of stuff that I'm more passionate about. I love like story-driven stuff, and you know, things like Star Wars and Marvel entertainment shows like that, and movies. But again, thank you guys so much for listening. If you did enjoy it, please be sure to subscribe down below, and let me know if you guys want more stuff like this. Thank you guys so much, and we will see you in the next one. Peace.